Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Katelyn and it's so nice to have you. If you're a returning subscriber, then hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining. And I'm pretty excited about today's video because I feel like today's video is kind of like full circle. So almost a year ago, around this time, I uploaded this same video of what I've been loving on Disney Plus. So I figured with it being 1 year since Disney Plus has been out and just like all these new things have been released and everything, I figured I would just do another updated one. So if you guys are interested in seeing what I have been loving recently, then just keep watching. So if you have not seen my previous video that I'm talking about, I will leave it linked down below. I warn you, it's a year old, so like the quality is not the greatest, the editing is definitely not the greatest. I'm sure I look different. I don't know if I look different, maybe. But yeah, so if you want to watch that one, go check it out. Basically everything on there that I mentioned is still relevant to today. I do a lot of rewatching on Disney Plus, but I feel like that's the point of Disney Plus because it's all like classics that you know and love, have grown up watching. There are some new stuff. There is some new stuff. And yeah, so yeah, basically there's not a whole lot that I have written down here just because a lot of it is repeat from the last video, but I can quickly touch on that stuff first. A few things that I've been loving that are kind of just like far and wide is like, of course, like my favorite films. So Frozen 2, Ratatouille, Tangled, and I think those are like the ones that I kind of have on like a repeat of the three. So those are of course like ones that I'm just always watching. I also have been recently watching all of the Pixar movies. Austin and I just one day were downstairs in the basement. We both like weren't really doing anything, so we were just like, let's just put on a movie. So we picked a Pixar movie and then we just started watching all of them. And we weren't watching them like in any order or anything. It was kind of just like he would pick one, I would pick one, but we just kind of watched all the Pixar's, and it's like, it's so cool because Pixar obviously is its own like entity, so you can really tell like a Pixar movie, like a vibe almost. So yeah, we've been watching that a lot right now. And then I've also really been loving just the original like Disney Channel movies. I started watching all the Halloween Towns around Halloween, obviously. And then once I finished those, I just kind of started watching a bunch of them. So I was watching like High School Musical, The Cheetah Girls. I haven't watched Camp Rock yet, but it's on my list. So those are ones that I think are always going to be on my like must watch of Disney Plus just because those are some of my favorites. But let's get into the new ones. So I'll start with movies because I really don't have a lot to go on here, just because when I go to pick a movie I typically go to watch like my classics and my favorites, but there's two that I have. So the first one is Waking Sleeping Beauty, and if you are interested in any type of Disney history, Disney Parks history, Walt Disney history, anything like that, I highly recommend watching Waking Sleeping Beauty. It is not a Disney Plus original, but it is on Disney Plus, and it is so cool. It basically goes through the turn of events of when Disney kind of like wasn't doing really well. I don't know the dates off the top of my head, but when they weren't doing really well, and then when they started releasing all these new movies, so like Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid. I think they talk about some like underrated films, like they talk about The Black Cauldron, they talk about Great Mouse Detective, they talk about Rescuers Down Under. But yeah, it's like just really cool, and it talks about the change in management in the Disney company and everything like that. So it's like a really, really cool, intricate movie. And Austin and I kind of just like found it on a whim because I had said that, oh, I think I want to watch that, and then we like both loved it. So highly recommend watching that. And then the other like movie I guess that I've been loving is Hamilton. I am a huge musical theater nerd, junkie, whatever. And the first time I tried watching Hamilton, I did not like it. I was like, I don't know about this music. It's not like classic Broadway, so I just wasn't sure about it. So the first time I tried to watch it through, I think I only made it through like the first song, and that was it. And I was like, I'm really not feeling this. But then I had a bunch of people say that it was like one of the best shows that they've ever seen. They love it. They're like, you have to watch it, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it. So we went and visited my grandma in the summer at her cottage. And on the way there, I had downloaded it on my like iPad from Disney Plus, and we watched it on the way, and I love it so much. It's so good. I always put it on. Okay, sorry about that. There's a little bit of a memory card crisis, but we're back. Okay, I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but I was saying I think how a bunch of my friends were telling me that I needed to watch Hamilton, and it did not disappoint. I'm so happy with it. I love it so much. I listen to the album constantly. I listen to the movie constantly. It's just awesome. Also, let me know what your favorite song is if you've already seen Hamilton. My favorite, I love Helpless. I don't know. I know most people love Satisfied. I love Satisfied, but Helpless is just like my favorite. I love it. I love it so much. And Take a Break. I love that song too. Okay, so those are the only like 2 movies that I kind of really have been like loving right now that are like different from, you know, the ones I was talking about before. But I've really been getting into the Disney Plus TV shows. Those are just amazing. They have been so good. Like all the ones that I've watched, I've been thoroughly impressed with that Disney Plus has released. So yeah. The main one that I have been loving is probably going to come to no surprise to you guys, but it is The Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom. I could cry just thinking about that movie. TV show. That TV show seriously does wonders for my mental health. I love it so much. I am so sad that there's no more episodes coming out. I really hope that they do a second season. I hope they do more because it's just amazing. I love it so much. I was hooked after the first episode. Like, I don't know, it's amazing. If you're not a big Animal Kingdom fan, I think you'll still love this series because it really goes behind the scenes on Animal Kingdom and how they really care for and love their animals. And it's just like really, it's amazing to see. Like, we already know that Disney is different than most zoos where they are more about rehabilitation and everything. So it really goes in depth about that. It shows how they care for them. It shows all the vets that are on deck. We love Dr. Dan. Dr. Dan is the best vet on there. Love Dr. Dan. But yeah, I love it so much. If you have not seen it, you really need to check it out. It is my absolute favorite. I found new love for certain animals now. I won't spoil anything because I don't want to like give away what animals are in what episodes, but it's seriously amazing and I highly recommend watching it. Another Disney Plus original that we have been loving is Mandalorian, the second season. We watched the first season when it first came out and we were obsessed with it. We loved it. And this season, I've loved just the same. It is so good. I was really nervous, honestly, that they were going to like make Baby Yoda more than what he was in the last season in a bad way. Like, you know how when I feel like they weren't expecting Baby Yoda to blow up as much as he did in the first season, so all of a sudden they were releasing the merch, they were putting out all the like new stuffies and the toys and everything, right? And I was nervous that because of that they really would want to capitalize on him and they would just like make him do things that didn't really fit his character from the first film, but they were like, we don't care, we want people to grab in for Mandalorian. And while he is a little bit more prominent and he does a little bit more mischievous things in the second season, I think that they are accurate to the personality of the character as it develops. That's my take on it. But if you've watched it, I think you would know what I would mean. I think you know what I mean when I talk about that. But yeah, it's been so good. I love The Mandalorian in that there's some action in it, but it's not like every episode is just like jam-packed. Like, it really is like a very like drawn out storyline, but not in a painful way. It's not like I'm sitting there being like, oh my gosh, like when is this gonna be over? But it's like, it's really good. I really am enjoying it. This is also a Disney Plus original that is a little bit older. I think it came out, I can't remember exactly. I can't remember if it came out before the pandemic or during, like in the very beginning stages of it when it hit like North America. But this TV show is so amazing. Again, another Disney Plus original that I just love so much, and it is Prop Culture. And it's, like I said, it's been around for a little while, so you might have already seen it, but if you haven't, I highly recommend. Although there are not amazing films in it, there are some films that make the entire season. For instance, there is one episode where they talk about Nightmare Before Christmas. And basically they go through all the different props, and it's basically this guy, and he's, I don't know if he's like, I think that's just like his, like, he's just interested in like seeing the props or whatever. So he goes around to different areas and he finds these new props. And then you can also, they also talk to like actors and actresses from the time, directors, executive producers, stuff like that. And it's just amazing, and it's really cool to hear the stories behind it. It was really cool like to see that some of the cast from Night Before Christmas like actually have like some of the amazing intricate like claymation like props. It's just, it's incredible. It's so good. There's a bunch of different movies on there. Some of the movies are very well known. Some of them aren't as well known, but they're still good movies, and it's still cool to learn about. So I highly recommend watching that if you have not already. This is also one that was released a little while ago. So most people I think have seen this one, but I just had to touch on it because it is just, oh, I love it. It is the making of Frozen 2. I think it's called Into the Unknown, the making of Frozen 2. Oh my goodness. Even if you don't like Frozen, even if you don't like Frozen 2, I feel like you would love this if you are interested in, again, the background and behind the scenes of Frozen, or of any Disney animation. Basically, it does the entire storyline of when they started the ideas for Frozen 2 to when it was released, which I just think is amazing, because obviously you know that they've documented many movies that have been made, and I think it's amazing that they put it out. I really hope that they do it with more films like in the like coming times, because I thought it was so interesting, and it was so amazing because they did little highlights of different people who actually worked on the movie, so you could see these people in their real life and how this movie affects them and how they like work. Like, I don't know, it's a really cool thing. I love history. I love Disney history. I think it's so interesting. So if you enjoy Disney history as well, I highly recommend watching it if you have not already. And then my last one to kind of touch on is just kind of one that is a little bit, I think I even mentioned this one in my old video, but I just have to mention it because it's just one to throw on and it's just good to watch. And it's the Disney fairy tale weddings. I don't know why, but I love watching those. I mean, I do know why. It's just like you want to see these beautiful weddings. But it's in the Disney parks, and it's amazing, and you can see like what these people do. There was one that they got married like right by the Tree of Life, and like the whole Tree of Life was lit up and it like shows everything. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's just like one of those ones where it's like I don't have to pay attention to it. Like I can just kind of be editing and I have it up on the screen like while I'm doing whatever. So I really like watching that. But I had to throw it in because it is one that I go back to constantly. And they have a bunch of different ones. They have like the Christmas fairy tale weddings, and then they have whatever, like they have a bunch of different ones. So you have to go and watch all of them because they're awesome. It's not a Disney Plus original. I do believe it was on Freeform, but we don't get Freeform in Canada. So I was first introduced to it on Disney Plus. So yeah. So that is everything for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video talking about some of my favorite Disney Plus movies and TV shows. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to leave me a comment down below letting me know what your favorite things on Disney Plus are. If there's anything different from what I've been loving, please let me know, because I'm always looking for things to watch on Disney Plus. And actually, this is the last video that you guys are going to be seeing before Vlogmas starts. I am so excited. So next week on Monday, there will not be a video, but on Tuesday, which is December 1st, there will be a first Vlogmas video, and I'm so excited for you guys to see it. So make sure that you stay tuned for that, subscribe, all the things, turn on the bell, be sure to be notified when it starts. So I am like so excited for you guys to see Vlogmas, and yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!